कम पानी में अच्छी क्रॉप प्रोडक्शन. नेक्स्ट वन इज आफ्टर इरिगेशन, प्लांट्स स्टार्ट टू ग्रो, germinate, seeds germinate, plants start to grow, seedlings develop over here. Now next step is the transplantation. Transplantation, seeds are sown first in the nursery, then seedlings are transferred to the main field. The transfer of seeds from the nursery to the main field is known as transplantation. Transplantation done in case of the chili, mirch, tomato and paddy, rice. It contains a number of the advantages in this process. You know well, some of the seeds, all the seeds do not grow at a time. Some seeds will grow, some seeds will germinate, but they produce unhealthy, weak plants. So transplantation provides us a chance to separate out to the weak, diseased seedlings. Now after transplantation, you know well, we plant again and again in the same kind of the soil. From the soil, minerals and nutrients completely absorbed by the plants. Then a condition will come over here that the soil become nutrient deficient. Soil become nutrient deficient. In such case, in this condition, the crop production will be reduced. Crop production will be reduced. In such conditions, we add some nutrients in the soil. Adding of additional nutrient in the soil is known as manuring. Manuring consists two parts. Number one, natural, and second one, chemicals. Natural way is known as manures. And second one, use of chemicals. This is known as fertilizers. Now look, types of manure. Manure basically of three types. Number one, compost, vermicompost and green manure. What do you mean by compost? The waste material of the agriculture wastage, like the dead plants of dead leaves, dried leaves, twigs, animal excreta, plant wastage, sewage. These are known as compost. And when these compost put in a pit is known as composting. It is the natural way. But in this compost, if we add some earthworm to enhance the process of decomposition, you know well, bacteria and fungus, they decompose the material and add the nutrient in the soil, and soil become nutrient rich. Next one, green manure. Green manure, in case of the green manure, you know well, sun, ham, guar, a number of the kind of the weeds. Weeds grow over here. We left our agriculture field to grow some of the natural plants, and later on we mulch them. Mulching by the plow. When we do plow, they mulch and mix in the soil. Later on, it will increase the soil. What are the advantages of the manure? Manure increase water holding capacity of the soil. Manure increase water holding capacity of the soil. It makes soil porous and facilitate exchange of the gases. Porous means exchange of the gases. It improves the texture of soil. That's why in the clay soil, to make the fertile more fertile, the clay soil चिकनी मिट्टी, is very small particles of the soil. We add manure. In sandy soil also, we add also manure to increase water holding capacity, and there to make in case of the clay soil, to make more porous. Right? So, it is the manure. Manure increase growth of microbes in the soil. But there are a number of limitations of the manure. Manure do not provide a specific nutrient. It is organic matter. When it decomposes, it takes too much time to decompose. And when it decomposes, it provides nutrients slowly to the soil. For long term use, we use the manure. Next one, it requires too much large amount, and it is not readily soluble in the soil. So plants can't absorb them directly. They absorb slowly. On the other hand, fertilizers. Fertilizers are the chemical substances which are produced in the factories. Fertilizers are chemical substances which produced in the factories. These are nutrient specific. They contain inorganic nutrients. Inorganic nutrients means minerals. Minerals: nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. NPK. Nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. NPK. Right? So, now for nitrogen, we utilize which kind of the fertilizer? Urea. Shriram, urea. Next one, potassium, potash. Next one, yes, potash, and one another, ammonium sulfate. And phosphate, ammonium phosphate for phosphorus. What are the advantages of the fertilizers? Fertilizers provide instant growth of the plants. These are soluble in the soil, so plants utilize them directly. They increase the soil fertility immediately. They enrich the soil with particular nutrient immediately. Right? It takes very less it takes very less space. So these are easy to transport. Manure not easy to transport, but fertilizers easy to transport. Now look differences between the manure and fertilizers. Manure obtained naturally by the decomposition of the dead plants, dead animals, dried parts of the plants, dead bodies of the plants, animal excreta. Fertilizers are produced in the factories from the chemicals. These are manures. These are not nutrient specific. They contain all kind of the nutrient, but it in small amount. The fertilizers, on other hand, these are rich in particular nutrient like nitrogen fertilizer, phosphorus fertilizer, potassium fertilizer. Manures slowly absorbed by the plants. These are not water soluble. The fertilizers are soluble in water, so they absorb readily by the plants. The manure improves soil texture. Fertilizers do not improve soil texture. Manure are also become the part of the plant soil and known as humus. It improves soil water holding capacity of the soil, but fertilizers do not. Long use of the fertilizers, excessive use of the fertilizers make the soil acidic, and sometimes it carried away by the water into the water bodies. So it causes the soil pollution, water pollution, but manures do not cause any kind of the pollution. Now look, crop protection. For the farmers, it is very difficult to obtain their crops in good quantity or without any loss. There are, when they grow in their farm the crop plants, there are a number of the unwanted plants grown over here, and these unwanted plants compete with the main crops. They take their nutrients, they compete for water, they compete for sunlight, ultimately, and the weeds grow too fast than the crop plants. So they become challenge for our main crops. These unwanted plants that grown in our agriculture field is known as weed, and these plants are known as weeds. The process of removal of the weeds is known as weeding. Weeding can be done by physical method, by chemical method, and third one is the biological method. In physical method, we uproot the weeds with our hands or with our trowel, harrow, or by plowing. Second one, chemical method, chemical control. We use some herbicides or spray weedicides on our agriculture field to remove the weeds. And what are the examples of the weedicides? Number one, Delapone, Metachlor, 2,4-D, and 2,4,5-T. 2,4-D and 2,4,5-T. Got it? Next one, biological control. In case of the biological control, we use some special kind of the insects or organisms, bacteria, which feed upon the weeds, specific on the weeds. So this is the weeding method. Next one, pest and pesticides, insect management. What do you mean by pest? The insects, bacteria, other viruses, other organisms, rodents, whatever it is, who destroy our crops, known as pest. Pest may be rodents, rat, rabbit, maybe insects, maybe fungus, viruses, right? So we remove the pest is known as pesticides. The chemicals which destroy the pest are known as pesticides. Chemical pesticides for insects, insecticides; for fungus, fungicide; for rodents, rodenticides. Got it? Most common example of the insecticides or pesticides: BHC. BHC also known as Gamaxan. BHC also known as Gamaxan. Next one, boric acid. Gamaxan also known as BHC. सबसे ज़्यादा पूछे जाने वाला क्वेश्चन Gamaxan, boric acid, digenone, DDT, malathion. DDT used totally banned nowadays. Next method is the biopesticides. In case of the certain bacteria, viruses, they grow upon the such kind of the pests and cause diseases and remove or destroy such kind of the pests are known as biopesticides. In case of the biopesticides, what are the advantages of the pest control? Biopesticides, insecticides, these are economical and they destroy the pest. Prevention of diseases to prevent our crops from a number of diseases. Fungus, we spray fungicide, that's why the fungus will cause a number of diseases in our plants also. We will discuss later on. So it increase also our agriculture yield. When the pest do not destroy our crops, it increase our crop production. Next step is the harvesting. The process of collecting and gathering of the matured crops is known as harvesting, cutting of the crop. And next one, we separate out the seeds from the harvested crops is known as threshing. And next one, the separation of husk and chaff from the food grains is known as winnowing. Right. Next one, storage. Storage is also very important part of the in crop production. In case of the in proper storage techniques, the fungus, pest, bacteria destroy our crops. So the seeds should be dried in the sun to remove the moisture, and the seeds can be stored in the godown and packed in the silos and granaries. Right. So next one, process in agriculture practice is the animal husbandry. Animal husbandry, rearing and caring of animals for human use, is known as animal husbandry. We use a number of products, we obtain a number of products from the animals like the eggs, milk products. So look, animal husbandry. Number one, cattle farming. Cow, buffalo, bullocks are known as cattles. The cattles can be divided into two parts. Number one, milch breeds which provide the milk, dairy animals. Milk, Bos indica cow, Bos bubalis buffalo. These provide the milk. Next one, draught animals. Some of the animals provide us transportation and they are strong. So these are known as draught animals. So cattle can be divided into two parts. Number one, milch breeds, milch animals, and second one is the draught animals. Now feeding of the cattle. For feeding, number one, fiber food. And fiber food, you know well, which is the fiber food? Roughage, green fodder, silage, hay, legumes. Right? These are the fiber food and known as roughage. Next one, concentrates. Concentrates, they contains low fiber but rich in protein, fats and other nutrients. These are known as concentrates. Concentrate include cotton seeds, oil seeds, oat, barley, gram and byproduct of the wheat, beans and molasses. Next one, sheep and goat. Sheep and goat, rear sheep, Rear for basically wool, and these animals are also sheep and goat both rear for the meat, milk, their skin to obtain leather. Next one, poultry. Poultry, the branch of biology which deals with the rearing and caring of the birds. Birds, hen, yes, hen also known as chicken. Second one, ducks, geese, to provide, to obtain the, yes, number one, eggs, their meat. So for eggs and meat, the process is known as poultry. Now next one, fishery. Fishery includes rearing and catching of the fish. Rearing of catching of the fish at large scale is also known as pisciculture. Fish, rich source of the protein. Fish is the rich source of protein. And next one, apiculture. Apiculture, yes, rearing of honeybees. Rearing of honeybees is known as apiculture. What is the scientific name? Apis indica. Right? Honey. We obtain from the honeybees. We obtain honey from the honeybees. Next one, sericulture. Sericulture, yes, the rearing and caring of silk insect to obtain the silk is known as sericulture. Scientific name, Bombyx mori. Methods to increase the crop production. Number one, crop rotation. बार बार उसको क्रॉप्स को एक पर्टिकुलर सीक्वेंस में ग्रो करना, एक ही टाइप की क्रॉप को नहीं, अलग अलग टाइप की क्रॉप्स को. द प्रोसेस ऑफ ग्रोइंग ऑफ क्रॉप्स इन ऑल्टरनेट ऑर्डर इन सक्सेसिव सीजन इन द सेम फील्ड इज नोन एज क्रॉप rotation. In case of the crop rotation, we use the legume plants. Next one, crop rotation. Next one is the mixed cropping. We grow two or more kind of the crops at the same time, like the cotton with mustard, wheat and gram, groundnut and sunflower. These are in the same field. These are some crops. This cropping method, this is known as mixed cropping. Next one is the field fallow. Field fallow is the old concept. In this process, the field is left for 1 year or 2 years unharvested, uncultivated. In this way, the soil become fertile in natural way. Some of the plants grow over here and mix in, after death they mix in the soil, and in this way they increase the soil fertility. Next process is the high yielding varieties, and high yielding varieties, this process is known as hybridization. The process of crossing or breeding of two plants with desirable characters. Some of the plants may grow, produce large production, large amount of the yield. They are good production. They provide good production. On the other hand, some of the plants, they are disease resistant. Number one, high producing, disease resistant. But these are disease resistant, but do not they produce crops in very less amount. They produce very high yield, but these are disease sensitive. These are disease sensitive, these are disease resistant. We cross both kind of the plants. Their next generation will having characters of this one and this one. When it contains both the characters, then next generation will be high yielding as well as disease resistant. This process is known as hybridization. Two plants and with desirable characteristics are selected and they breed The plants generally should be by self-fertilization, bisexual plants. In case of the bisexual plants, their well, plants having, in case of the flower contains two types of the sexual organs, male sex organ, stamen, female sex organ, yes, carpel or pistil. We remove the stamen. We remove the stamen, the flowers we want to make as a female. We remove the male part, and this process is known as emasculation. This process is known as emasculation. Second one, cover the stigma with the polythene or small bag is known as bagging. So in hybridization we utilize two techniques: removal of the stamen, and second one is the covering the pistil or carpel. This process is known as bagging. Thank you.